Hey guys, this is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. I'm playing G4 G54 with Last 92 Gray and PJ17. Looking at this first pile, I see a ton of crap. I see Contract Builder, Death to Contract Builder, um, Oven Inspector is an okay card. Uh, yeah, these are all really bad. I think what I do is I'm going to take Pioneer because there's also Outrider. Very likely that I get Outrider back. So those two cards together, you can always do something with them. You can play like Major Minor. You can play One Sheep. You can play, Family Growth if you go for the first growth, that kind of thing. So we'll start with Pioneer and hopefully get Outrider back. Pioneer giving a food and a resource when you go on the most recent action space. Everyone's set. Excellent. So in boîte à jeu, it looks like I have a very good chance of winning. So I've already won the first game that's done. This game, I think I've won um, because I have my plow for a ton of points and I'm in the point lead already. The one thing I've noticed is nobody really seems to value wood right. Like I've done really well in all my games in Division 1, especially so far, just by taking 3 wood whenever it's up. And then it ends with like a bunch of players with incomplete farms and yeah, building too many rooms. Um, Biggest rival definitely Havos or Zavok. I don't know how you say that. There's a StarCraft player with a similar name that's Havos, or no, that's Dota. And like this game I've won already. The only question is Turambar, but I've got like almost a 20-point lead on Turambar, who's who plays on Play-agricola. And then this one, Manic has it locked up. He's at over 51 points already, but should have second locked up because my Mendicant hasn't kicked in yet. I've got Family Growth and a Reno action for my last 2 moves. That'll be a ton of points. So means I've got a first, a second, and then hopefully 2 other firsts. So that should be enough for the win, especially because I beat in the 2 games I'm playing against Tavos. I'm gonna come ahead of him in both of them. So that should mean that I win. All right. Well, Grain Speculator is the best card here. Although Cabbage Lover is nice. Um, Baker with Pioneer and Outrider could be something. Like I just, get food from using my Outrider every once in a while. Um, yeah. What else is in that pile is in there even other than the Grain Speculator? Or other than Outrider? Nothing that I really want. I think I'm gonna try. I'm gonna not take Grain Speculator. I'll take Cabbage Lover. Cabbage Lovers and Grain Speculator are. Grain Speculator is definitely better, but Cabbage Lover is not so much worse. I think it's okay. Um, Wood Deliveryman is good. The rest of these are not that great. Stone Curator's okay. I think I could take Stone Curator and rely on Blacksmith getting played, but I like Blacksmith playing it myself. Ability to play an occupation and build an improvement at the same time is always nice, especially if I get like want to do Clay Oven, for example. Clay Oven with Outrider Pioneer. I could do something like that. But I think just to be safe, I'll take Stone Curator and then maybe hope to rely on somebody else playing Blacksmith to save on Stone. Wood Deliveryman is nice too. Stone Curator is just like, it's an easy like 2 or 3 points at the end of the game. Oh man, this pile has got the best cards. Hewer, Livestock Keeper, Hobby Farmer. I love Hewer. It is well known. Cabbage Lover with Hobby Farmer. There could be a nice combo there. But Hewer gets me Clay, which Cabbage Lover wants anyways. Hmm. Hobby Farmer would make it way easier for me to get a max. You know what? I'm unlikely to get enough vegetables to max out Cabbage Lover without Hobby Farmer, so let's try Hobby Farmer here. Use Hobby Farmer to get and Cabbage Lover to get 3 vegetables and sow the 3 of them, and then I can start eating them at that point. Yeah, and all these are pretty bad, so Outrider. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Oven Inspector is really good, but I think I'm gonna try Pioneer Outrider together. If I could get something like Sunday School, that would be ideal. Something that lets me play a bunch of occupation, 2 occupations at once is always nice. So I'm keeping an eye on chat, so feel free to ask any questions. Um, it was kind of funny. One of my friends was looking for Terra Mystica videos to watch because we've been playing Terra Mystica offline recently. And there was a Reddit thread where it was like, um, what are games with high level analysis and commentary? And a couple people had mentioned this channel, so that was really cool. Thank you to Verindi, and I think the other guy was named Jared in particular, or Kared. Um, yeah, appreciated seeing that. It's like from a year old thread or something like that. It's just funny that one of my friends said, "Hey, people are talking about you on Reddit." Um, so this pick, definitely Baker. We're gonna try. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to trigger the Outrider once per round, or once per harvest, and then use the Baker to feed. So it'll just be a really easy, like if once I build clay oven, it'll be like an easy 5 food. And then I can use Cabbage Lover at the end of the game, uh, or start using Cabbage Lover whenever I want to start saving my grain. Because yeah, like I said, if you can do like plow, sow, bake, trigger Outrider. You can go major minor, trigger Outrider. You can go family growth. You can go vegetable. Times when you want to go on to space anyways. Family growth, like the round 12, 13 cards to start player into them. That kind of thing. Always nice. Set yourself up for an offense. We'll try it, see how it goes. Yeah, I just find these games move too slowly. Like more than it. Like if there are many days where I don't get to make a move, which it's like frustrating because you want to be checking them all the time, and you're not getting you're not getting that many actions. Which is why I find playing the live online's far superior. Blacksmith came back, definitely taking Blacksmith. That's actually really surprising that it did come back. But yeah, it's exactly the card that I want. Um, Driftwood is really good. Rotterdam Plow can be good. Pastureland can be good. Take Driftwood. Free point, 3 wood. Always going to be worth taking. Private Forest is good too, but I want to play occupations early, and Private Forest isn't really that good with early occupations because you end up needing too much food. Does that work? Oh, it does work. Hey. So now when people are browsing, they can see that link. Especially for the viewers, if they want to see my first person view. If I type it in the square brackets like that, it doesn't get seen by the other players in the game, only by the watchers. So yeah. Okay. Cornrick, Dolly's mom, Camembert. Lots of good cards here. Clay Deposit. Clay Deposit with Cabbage Lover in particular. Camembert though. Camembert is really good. Yeah. I'd probably get a decent card back out of this pile. Like if one of those 3 came back, I'd be pretty pleased. And it looks like I'm not going to get a ton of actions. This game is looking like a 3-room house into building a ton of improvements, getting lots of bonus points from my Cabbage Lover. Um, yeah, probably would rather build improvements than 4th room. So we shall see. Okay. Wow, Artichoke Field. Definitely taking Artichoke Field. Because with Hobby Farmer, it's the perfect combo. Empty plowed field. Now, Artichoke is not an empty plowed field. Actually, I need to check that. Does it work with uh, Hobby Farmer? Sowing the vegetable. You may sow on bean field, lettuce patch, turnip field. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, definitely artichoke field. Backyard well is excellent with blacksmith and stone curator, but artichoke field with hobby farmer is just too perfect to pass on. This pile, don't really need any of these. I don't want snack time. I guess I'll take heavy plow, just in case I only want to do one total plow action. Like if I play artichoke field round 7, I could get 2 fields out of it and then heavy plow once with 4 cattle for 5 fields, something like that. Yeah, to play artichoke field for max fields, I would need to play it and the hobby farmer in stage 1. which if I'm going to play Pioneer and Outrider is going to be difficult. But definitely playing it in round by the end of round 9 is doable for 4 fields or for 2 fields. Oh wait. Oh. I never mind. Artichoke Field is a different card than what I thought it was. You get 1 food when you harvest off it. Not when you harvest the last vegetable, you get something. Whoops. Oh well, it's still fine. It's still a good combo, it's just not as good as I was thinking. Pretty happy that I took Heavy Plow in that case. Yeah, Heavy Plow would be a pretty nice round 12 start player with, 2 cattle to get Plow So round 13. Well, Private Forest came back. Rake is not bad, but take Private Forest. Just in case you get that terrible start. Like if I start 4th and get, nothing that I want, it's always nice to have Private Forest in your back pocket. From this pile, Boar Breeding's okay. Glassblower's Shop is okay, but I would rather spend my clay with Cabbage Lover. Building Materials is really not that strong, but it's easy to play early. If you need like a start player action or something, it can be doable. Sorry guys, I gotta turn my fan on. It's pretty warm in here. Hopefully it's not too annoying for you guys. Watering can came back. Wow. Also cookies. Either of those would be excellent for me. Cookies is excellent with Baker. Watering can is excellent to get extra crops at the end of the game. Like if you have like 4 or 5 planted fields, watering can be a ton of points. I think I will take cookies just because of the synergy with Baker. But yeah, watering can is excellent. So yeah, I think probably my opponents did not draft particularly well, which is an indicator that they're not as experienced with the game, which is fine. Just got to keep that in mind, that they might behave slightly unpredictably, or ways in which I would not, which is not to say it's bad, but, you know. Let's resize all these. First action, Mountain Plowman from Gray. Okay. I would guess he took Dolly's mother and imagines that just taking Plow once early will give him a reasonable food engine, which he's not wrong. Just needs to make sure he gets a fireplace, and then it'll start paying off. So I'm gonna play Pioneer here because it gives me the option to second action go major minor and play either Private Forest or Building Materials. Probably private forest, since major miner is available. So yeah, first pick Pioneer. Strong game. But I got cookies with my last pick and private forest with my fifth, so and blacksmith with my seventh, all of which are good cards. And with Pioneer, I'll grab a reed. Want to push myself towards building a room. So yeah, this is actually an excellent start. And with one action, I got 7 wood, which is fantastic. There is a 2 food cost, but 2 actions, even if you consider me just doing that and taking day labor, 2 actions for 7 wood is good, because 3.5 wood per action is good. It's really good. It means that I should have no problem getting all my fences up. And the extra wood at the end can be nice for playing something like drift, for like heavy plow. I didn't type GLHF, I should do that. But yeah, like with those 2 moves, I think I've won already. Just because this start is so good. Pioneer with a reed plus private forest, yeah, it's pretty good. So bake coming in round 2 is not good for me, but doesn't matter. Just means that I don't need to play Outrider until later. Just focus on getting enough food, getting the first room, so that when I play Family Growth, I activate my Outrider. And then I can play something like Camembert or Driftwood. Yeah, Camembert is excellent. Don't know if I've had Camembert cheese. I'm sure I have, because my dad especially likes. He's a bit of a cheese connoisseur. Likes buying sort of fine cheeses, but don't particularly remember them. Greengrocer from PJ17. Okay, yeah. If he took a card like Greengrocer over Blacksmith, I mean, okay, it's possible he has combo, so I shouldn't talk too much crap about him yet. But it certainly looks like a mistake to me. I grab Reedstone food. I now have 2 reed. I have more food. So my second action can be something like plow a field or take clay. You know, I have lots of take 2 wood would be. I don't really want 2 wood. I want 3 wood really, but we'll see. I can always take food too as well. Pen builder for gray. Okay. I would rather have seen thing from him, whatever that card is. Rather have seen Dolly's mother come out there. Not that it really matters. Nothing for me to do. I'm gonna start player building materials, get a wood. My mouse is not cooperating. Oh, cause there we go. That's better. 2 3 wood actions. So I'll do one of them, and then my second action is probably one of the 3 food actions. And fencing's coming round 4. I don't want to fence early. So yeah, unfortunately, sometimes you get lucky with Pioneer where sow bait comes round 4, and then you can do like plow, play your Outrider, and then you get a nice sow bake action where you sow your grain, you get a food and you get sow the grain that you take, you get a food and a resource. Only getting to trigger Pioneer once in round stage 1 is kind of unfortunate, but I mean, I knew it was a weak card when I took it. It's up to me to make good decisions the rest of the way, regardless of having played Pioneer. So for feeding, I want to get at least a 3 clay action, because the 3 clay action and having triggered Outrider once lets me play blacksmith to build the clay oven with no stone, even though I have 1 stone. Um, or I just build it normally. But probably what I'd rather do is play blacksmith, build the clay oven, bake then, and then also bake at the next heart. And then, yeah. Playing baker gives you a bake action as well, which is nice because you can bake twice in the harvest before the harvest that you play baker in. So I have some options. Rotterdam plow for gray, okay. I I really don't know what he's doing because he needs to feed, and how is he gonna feed with no clay, no. Like, I get Rotterdam plow plus mountain plowman. Okay, you're thinking I'm gonna plow 2 fields and get 2 sheep at the same time. Great. Um, yeah. Occupation's back, and both the 3 food actions are back. I think it's likely that Gray is gonna take one of them, so I'll grab fishing. Last, might build room, might play an occupation. Takes food, okay. That's pretty surprising actually, given that last has the fireplace. But that's fine. Yeah, there's probably a little bit of a delay, JP, so you can guess what I'm gonna do before I do it. Although most of the time I talk about what I'm gonna do well before I actually make the action. Yeah, so this game is an example of why a card like Grain Speculator is so much better than Outrider, because Outrider is so much work to get even 3 grain out of it early. Whereas Grain Speculator, if I had played it in round 2, I would have a grain already, and I could know that I could build an oven here if I took clay, for example. Like instead of taking 3 food fishing, I take 4 clay and then build clay oven in round 4, something like that. Football player for PJ17. Wow. How often do I expect to trigger Pioneer? I've never played it yet. Like 4 times. If it's 4 food and 4 resources, that's not terrible. Like family growth in stage 2. Um, Maybe cattle when cattle comes out, and then once in round 12, 13. If I can do a 4th time, then that's. And then I already did it once on major minor. Yeah. So yeah, those are my 4 times. If I do a 5th time, I'd be pretty happy with that. I wonder if I need to type it back. I just assumed he's watching. If he's not watching, then I have to type it to him if I want him to get that information. But yeah, I'm keeping an eye on Twitch chat as well. So say hi if you are watching live on Twitch. And if you're watching on YouTube, say hi as well. Always like to see people make comments. 4 food, 4 resources sound good. Yep, that's exactly it. So major minor, family growth, once on cattle, and once with start player in round 12 or 13. So that's 4. If I get a 5th, then I'm really happy. Uh-oh. Oh, uh-oh. I wonder how many sheep Gray thinks he's going to get with his second action. I bet he thinks he's going to get 2 sheep. Like, obviously, he's planning to plow 2 fields with his second action, get 4 food, and have enough to feed, which is not the case. Anyways, moving on. First room. Wonder if Gray even read my chat. I don't know if he did. Maybe he drafted a card like Mendicant, but just looks to me like he is expecting to be able to do something he can't. I do need to be aware that last can jump me if she first action start players. So I'm hoping for round 5 family growth, because if she first action start players, I can drop to the bottom of the family growth queue. Although I don't think I have to worry about PJ jumping in, or Gray jumping ahead of me. He's too many resources behind. but certainly PJ17 could. And that would be unfortunate. So that would be a case where taking wood with my second action would be a good thing to do. But I can't. So I'm not able to stable block anymore. Oh well, I just have to hope a little bit. So I'll play Outrider, feed 4. Because last can first action start player, second action build room. Although, actually no, she can't because PJ17 can build room. Ah, okay. Alright, I'm okay. I should be okay then. She'll probably first action build room. So that means I first action start player, so I can play a card like Camembert or Artichoke Field, any of which would be reasonable. Last builds a room and stables. How did Gray get 4 food? I really was not. I missed that. I'm sure not legitimately. Was there 2 sheep on the board? Oh, did last leave her 2 sheep? Okay. Oh, I totally missed that. I thought for sure last was going to take the sheep ahead of him, but alright, that works. That works, of course. Sorry about that. Oh, PJ playing start player, most likely. That's good for me. Unless, of course, PJ has Eris, but no food to play Eris with, so... Stone cart, so then I will do... Well, 5 clay is really nice. Can I pioneer before? Oh, hey, I could take 5 clay and then Reno with pioneer, because I could take a read. And then that would let me play an improvement, a major improvement, um, and activate my Outrider. Not locked into it yet, but it's an option. Definitely 5 clay first move either way. Gray gets a sheep, okay. Plow the top middle, because otherwise, you know, you do that, and then you have this ugly space here. Yeah, I think I do this. The only problem is I don't have a major improvement to play, but playing like an artichoke field I think is fine. or a camembert. Um, yeah. Okay. So I do that first. I get a food and a grain. And then I can play an improvement. And I will play. I'll play artichoke fields here. Sure, why not? I can play camembert once family growth has come out. So there we go. That's one extra time of triggering my Pioneer and Outrider. So I'm pretty pleased about that. I could have just taken 4 clay. That would be fine. So then the debate is, did I actually gain myself an action? Well, probably gaining a grain is gaining an action. But I could have done something like 4 clay there and actually built a major improvement on the major improvement space there. I did a minor improvement only. So is that worth it? You never know. There's family growth, beautiful. So first action, family growth, and I'll play camembert. And place food on major minor, on sow bake, and maybe occupation. What resource am I gonna grab from Pioneer here? If I get a clay, then I can build clay oven this round on major minor. Or on occupation. So PJ needs to build room. I need to family growth. Second action is open to me. Sundial. Okay. Well, I guess PJ can't be stable blocked by Lass. In any case, I do that. Put a food on. Put a food on sow bake. Put a food on major minor. Put a food on occupation. Something like that. Those are 3 actions, all of which I'd be happy to get. Could put it on plow as well. No, I think that's fine. And I get a F clay grain. Plus FC grain. Yeah, Chris, you're right. That's what I did. So yeah, so plowing a field and then sowing would be nice. But I also don't need to sow that badly. I can sow with hobby farmer as well. Maybe I should have put another food on the occupation space. I have a couple occupations that I would like to play, like hobby farmer, blacksmith. I got a couple things that I could do. Plow. Maybe I should have done one on plow or the other occupation space, something like that. I don't know. Hard to know. But yeah, playing blacksmith and then what's this card? It's stone. So do I want a stone, a food, and a resource of my choice? What would the resource be? I don't know. Hard to say. Okay, PJ needs the first room family gross, so that means I get 6 wood. So I'm playing blacksmith and building clay oven and baking. I guess I could build the well, grabbing stone, wood food, for example, and then building the well. I could do that next round. And then I come out of. Then I have the well, which is fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Probably something like that would be good. There's also going to be potentially eight clay available, six wood. So yeah, resource action with my first move for sure. One of those three, whatever's left, and then second action, I can do other stuff. PJ17 is set up to build the well himself, and I did put a food there for Major Minor, so maybe he'll decide that he wants it. He also has a sundial, which he might want to take a grain at some point so that he can use it, the sundial, in round 7. I mean, a wood for a slow action in round 9 is not terrible on its own. So, not a huge rush in my opinion, but whatever. So yeah, where this game could all have gone wrong is if I don't get first room. That could have been very bad. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, okay, so I like this from Gray. He plows once here, then he can plow once next round as well. And then he gets all the food he needs for this harvest, plus he comes out with a breeding pair of sheep. That's like that's nice. I like that. Problem is, he needs a card like, if he had a card like Cat Lover, I would say it's fantastic. He needs a card like Cat Lover in order to make his rooms cheaper so that he can build multiple rooms at once to gain efficiency and to gain actions back that way. Like now at this point, just building one room is not enough for him to catch up, I don't think. But then again, he does have a nice number of fields, and he would have a breeding pair of sheep, which is good. The problem is I've just had like a really monstrous start, so it's going to be very difficult for anyone to catch up with me. Like, and now I get 6 wood. Yeah. Why are these not combining? No one took clay last round. That's very strange. Like the fact that someone was using the meeple clay screwed up the combining with the normal clay, something like that. Weird. Very weird. So he played Basket Maker's Workshop. Last Family Growth, Dolly's Mother, okay. Yeah, that card would have been good for Gray. So we could have bred earlier. So if 8 clay is available, I definitely take 8 clay when it comes back. All right, Mr. Gray, what are you doing here? He's thinking. All right. 8 clay came back. Definitely taking 8 clay. No reason not to. It's a cooking hearth or fireplace plus all the clay I need for my cabbage lover. Hi Marskak. See you in Twitch chat. Hope you're doing well. Kind of a slow game here. Playing with some newer players. I can play Hobby Farmer here. I could take stone. Do I want stonewood food or do I want to sow? Probably just sowing is fine. Sow onto my artichoke field. Yeah, I think that's okay. Get myself some more stuff. Nothing else I really want to do, so yeah, my next goal is to get the well. Um, I guess that would be a point in which I would want to take 1 stone. But I can always go round 8. If round 8 is boar, I'm totally fine taking boar. Yeah, I could build another room, definitely. Kreuzberg, Kreuzberg beer. Uh, I could definitely build another room. Um, that's definitely an option. Especially because it seems like Gray is not going to build another room. I think Gray probably will take 3 reed. Um, I think what I'm going to do for now is take 4 wood because wood is excellent. I want to get animals breeding. If I get, I want wood because I want to get my fencing done so I can get 2 cattle so I can start using my heavy plow. So I have some time. I don't think I'll take vegetable this round. What I'll probably do is take um, boar in round 9, get a food and a stone from my pioneer, and then I can use that to build the well in round 9 as well. Yeah, so building another room is definitely an option. Um, I think though, like my feeding is already so efficient, so getting lots more actions would be really good. Because clay oven plus outrider plus baker, my feeding is so efficient. Oh, there's cat lover. Okay, excellent. Good job, Gray. That's exactly what I said he needed, and he has it. Good job. So yeah, he's gonna build rooms and grow. So I don't really feel the need to build any more rooms. So I'll plow a field here probably because I want to probably plow a field and then play hobby farmer. I think those are my 2 actions. Although cheap occupation is taken, I could plow and then like play driftwood, start player driftwood, something like that. Either way, I will definitely plow with my first move here. Second action, we will see. Reedstone food and then major minor would have been okay too. I also have easy access to pottery right now, so I can do that as well. Like I just think I have a lot of good alternatives to. I have a lot of alternatives to building a room. There's been no actions that have added wood into the game aside from private forest. And actually quite a few wood improvements have been played. So I think I'm just gonna fence really early. Why not vegetable green in a food? Because I'd rather do it with boar next round. I'm gonna get vegetable from Hobby Farmer and Cabbage Lover. I would rather play those. And I might not get a breeding pair of boar before the end of the game, so getting boar now is like 2 points. And I do need a reed and a stone. I definitely need those 2 things so that I can do another reno. Uh, yeah, I guess how do I ignore 3 reed? It's really difficult to do so. Yeah, okay. I guess play. I should be playing to win, and 3 reed is definitely the move to play to win. Yeah, probably I play Baker this round, I think. Yeah, building a 4th room also means that I really want to get to a stone house, which means the well is less valuable for me. Because when you're on 3 rooms, the well is a better use of your stone than renovating to a stone house. It's 4 points versus 3. But also gives you food. But I just want a ton of actions this game. The more actions I get, the more times I trigger my Pioneer and Outrider, which means I just gain efficiency in all of those areas. Um, okay, first move, take care of my feeding situation, which is play Baker. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then second action, maybe room, and then third action can be start player. And then something, I don't know. I don't need to start player actually. So long as last doesn't, Gray probably can't afford to because he needs to feed, I'm going to hope. He might start player here. We'll see what he does. Hopefully he doesn't have improvements to play. That's going to be my hope. But yeah, the way he's laid out his fields and his house is so bad because this is the worst thing you could be doing for fencing. Like you want to have a small 2x2 square. Instead, he set it, or yeah, he set himself up. I mean, if he does one more double plow, and then 3 in the middle, that's not terrible. But that's why you do top, middle, and then you do like fields like that, and then you can do 3. I don't know, whatever. It's fine. It's rare that you bake grain this early without yeah, and have it be this efficient. Like, I can easily get more grain, which is very handy. I do want to play Hobby Farmer too. If I could play Hobby Farmer this round, I'd be pretty happy. So maybe play Hobby Farmer, build room. Those are my 3 actions. And then skip on taking boar. Mr. Gray. Remove 3 sheep on board. So he's thinking about taking sheep, okay? I think Glass will probably build the well. That's fine. Glass is so far away from being able... Well, she does have Fence Overseer. So Fence Overseer is good. That saves you a ton of wood. Hey, Dutch Mojo. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Stone oven for PJ. Okay. Gray did take sheep. So yeah, if I build a room, I get to grow in round 10. So yeah, building a room is definitely the way to go. Most definitely. So then, what am I doing with my third move? I can either take boar or I can play hobby farmer. Both of those are options. I guess I'll play hobby farmer. And then third move is build a room. And then on family growth, I play driftwood. And then I will have 15 wood in the start of round 12. So then I can build all my rooms, start grabbing animals. Yep. Or build all my fences, sorry. To set up my heavy plow. What I'll try to do is I'll try to have a max, like 2 extra fields from heavy plow for round 14. So 4 cattle. Should be doable. If I take cattle round 10, for example, and then round 12, that'll be 3, which breeds once for 4. Yep. How did my Meeple League go? It's going well. I won the first game, albeit with some interference from one of the other players, unfortunately. Um, but the other games, one of them I know I've lost, but I probably got second to Manic. The important thing is in the two games that I'm playing with Havos, or Zavok, beating him in both of them, which is probably the most important factor on whether I do well in that league or not. Well, whether I win it or not. So build a room here. So I get a food from artichoke and then feed 6. So yeah, and then I think probably the two other games that haven't finished yet, I like myself to win both of them, but it's still pretty early to say. Like this game is a win almost certainly, and then that's the one that Mannix won. Crazy huge stone house. It's actually ridiculous that he has that many points with that many empty fields, and then this one is one almost certainly. So if I have 3 wins in a second, that should be enough for first place. So first move's got to be build room, driftwood. So yeah, I want to plow and then sow again. I want to take stone so that I can get more grain because I want to sow more grain and bake more grain. I definitely want to bake a grain in the round 11 harvest for sure. And then how I feed the rest is kind of to be determined. If blacksmith could pay off again, that would be nice. So yeah, round 12 I'll have 16 food. Round 13 I'll have 17 food. I need 17 food to play heavy plow, so that's perfect. Because heavy plow costs 2 wood. So yeah, I'll grab a stone here, and I'll grab a cattle here, and then probably 2 cattle round 13, something like that. Hopefully I can make that work. If not, I'm not really too worried about it. I'm pretty sure I've got this game won already. I just have too many points, too many actions, too many resources. Cabbage Lover is going to give me so many points towards the end of the game. Even if I eat raw vegetables, like it's fine because I just need to make sure I go over and above and beyond on vegetables. Dutch Mojo. I managed to lose a game I had Braggart. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, to be fair, Braggart's not the be all and end all. With a 4-room stone house. Yeah, just a lot of minuses, unfortunately. Grain, vegetable, boar, unused spaces. Hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, like drinking trough, spit roast, not necessarily that strong. Um, Good effort. What am I doing here? I have 2 more moves. Um, plus F stone G, I think. So now I have enough to build the well if I want to. Because I can probably build the well and still renovate to a stone house in all likelihood. Only thing is it does slow my wood down slightly. But if I get one more wood from something, then it's not an issue. Oh, there's the well from last. That's fine. I'm not really too worried. It's 3 stone. I only need one more to reno to a stone house. It's, I'm still in an excellent spot. So last action, probably to plow a field. Because at this point I just need lots of fields to sow all my crops on. Got to put a food on the board. Why? Oh, the well food, she means. Okay. Looks like she paid me. Oh, field is gone. So I will do occupation, play cabbage lover. Oh, I totally forgot I had stone curator. So with stone curator, that makes building the pottery a lot better because it makes it a 3-point card instead of a 2-point card, which makes playing cabbage lover a bit worse because pottery is worth points there. Um, yeah, we'll see. Because with Stone Curator, it's worth 2 points right now. If I played pottery, it would be worth 3 points. So we'll see. Hi, Dr. Tisk. Thanks for watching. Finally saw you live. Love the videos on YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. This game's going quite well. I think I'm in an excellent spot to win it. Just the strength of my actions. Like all, if you look at my average resources per action, I imagine they're quite a bit higher than all my opponents. The only exception maybe is Gray, who got a lot of value out of his cat lover mountain plowman play. The problem is that Gray is growing much later than I am, so he has fewer actions in general. So even though probably our resources per action are similar, um, I have more actions. And generally speaking, the more resources you get, um, the more points you have is the trade-off. Like you're getting resources are fences, rooms, fields, crops, everything. PJ, first action, start player plum patch. Okay, that's fine with me. I'm gonna grab one cattle at some point. I will plow a field for now. It's a perfectly good action for me. I still have heavy plow and cookies that I would like to play. Cookies I want to get out before this next harvest, almost definitely. Oh, how many more? Trying to think about how many more grain I'm gonna bake. We'll see. We will see. Yeah, I should be keeping. How many times have I triggered Pioneer? Major, minor, Reno, family growth, one stone, and I'm going to do it on cattle for a fourth time, and I'll probably start player first action round 12 to get whatever's on round 13, whether it's family growth or plow sow. I would honestly prefer plow sow at this point to family growth, so I'm hoping round 12 is family growth and then round 13 is plow sow. I hope that's what comes out here. But if not, I'll be fine as well. I have lots of options. I'm just waiting on Gray here. Think about what he is gonna do. So yeah, please, if you're watching on YouTube, give me a follow, twitch.tv/play_agricola, and then you can join my good friends Myroskok, Mojo, and Dr. Tisk, and watch live and chat and ask questions. And if you're like, hey, why don't you do this or why don't you do this, you can ask me and I'll say. It's a little harder to do that on YouTube when it's not kind of immediate. So. Dutch Mojo, your comment about Braggart makes me think of Horace. Horace was a player. He goes by 9K on the site now. I remember when he was playing a lot in 2014, he made a thread called "Strong Cards Does Not Equal Everything," because at the very top level, um, if two players are evenly matched, then if one gets a very strong card, that's kind of a that's kind of a it is a factor, no doubt. But I really enjoyed um, second agricultural page. Do you mean Boîte de Jeu, Kreuzberg beer? Is that what you're referring to? Boîte de Jeu, the other site that I've been tabbing to. Um, yeah, Lumen has been putting out some really interesting stats, and I really loved what he did is he did an analysis in which he evaluated the effects having a certain card, like if you were a team with your 14 cards that you drafted, what's the ELO rank for everything, and so the way to read that is it better to have a totally average hand in a certain card, or is it better to have a certain player play a totally average hand? And what came out was that the most important factor was to be the boot, and that if you are the boot and you give the boot an average hand, then he is more likely to win than somebody having Braggart or Chamberlain or one of those very strong cards, for example. Which just really, really fantastic that we are able to get that kind of data. So do I want to be greedy here? If I'm greedy, I play cookies and then bake, or I bake and then play cookies later. Which way do I do this? I'm going to wait and see what my opponents do. Take boar for now. I get a food, a grain, and I can take a stone or a clay, and or wood. Wood would be okay as well. I think I take stone. PJ plays giant. Okay, so PJ is really hoping that round 12 is family growth even without room, so that he can use that twice. Good players average at 55, middle players at 45. 8 victory points is not enough to close the gap. Yeah, so that's kind of I think that makes sense, that analysis, but I mean, that's very difficult to say because game type is also a factor in that. How long you've been playing is a factor. Like if you played back in the EIK three-player days, then your average points per game in those games would have been way lower than you would in a four-player game with G4, G5, or Power Game, or G6 game, whatever. Um, I don't think average points is necessarily a good indicator of a victory, or how, like, it's not a good indicator of how often you win because, you know, it depends on what format you play and who you play against and all that stuff. So, um, Dutch Mojo, I think Braggart stands out big time in the. Oh, it absolutely does in the Meeple League format because it's the only card of it. It's really the only card of its type. Um, there are other games, like for example, there are other cards that you can play in round 14 and get points, but none of them give you as many points as Braggart does. None of them do. Um, Dr. Tisk, in a lot of your games, you seem to favor synergy or combos rather than the outright strongest card. Are any data out there on card combos? That would be an excellent thing to do. And actually, I would love. That's going to be my next suggestion to Lumen, is to figure out. Just a second, I'm going to play cookies here. That's my next suggestion to Lumen is um, treat any two cards as a item and see what two cards perform best together. So, is it like that would, and then figure out the power based on that. Um, I guess I could have done Reno cookies, eh? Is there any reason for me not to have done that? Yeah, I'm gonna do Reno plus cookies. Um, yeah, so Dr. Tisk, yeah, outright strength. You're right that the effect, like the sum, it's greater. A hand is generally greater than the sum of its parts. That the synergy of the cards are more important. Not always more important. Like there is a trade off. Um, Sorry. So I need to sow a grain, and then I'm gonna bake a grain for 4 food, and then I put a food onto cookies. So bake another food, 3, 4, 5, and then the artichoke food goes to cookies, and -1. Because yeah, I harvested one there, and then baked the last one. Yep, that's right, and then feed 8. Oh, it's Plowso. So this is interesting to see what PJ does here. He has the option to start player again, and because you need with giant, you really need family growth even without room. Um, Dutch Mojo asks, any chance of you making a video specifically on the Meeple League format? I love how it has grown and looking to up my game. Yes, I should do that. Absolutely. I definitely have things that even in the top bracket, I made a couple comments on this earlier. I think they undervalue wood. In EIK, the game is all about um, using your wood efficiently and getting your feeding done efficiently. And then other than that, grow, grow, grow. Um, because there are not a lot of cards that are crazy for high, um, for like crazy high point totals. So PJ is going on start player. Perfect. I mean, it's just handing the game to me even more because I get Plauso for no work. Not that there's any, like, I understand with Giant, you're kind of forced into that position. That's always the gamble that you take. Always the gamble. So that's where I think I like Giant better if you have something like Head of the Family or Sleeping Corner, something that lets you do family growth even without room, even if it's occupied. Because otherwise, you're stuck into this point where you don't get a lot of actions, and you're using one of them, two of them to get start player, and that really hurts. That can really hurt. So, yeah, the Maple League is interesting. The other thing too is, and this decks, deck, clay deposit. Whoops. I get a grain, a food, and a clay. Yeah, so in the Meeple League format, the other thing is at the lower levels, you want to assume that there are going to be mistakes made, and and you want to leave yourself free to take advantage of those. For example, you don't want to tie yourself into a certain into, like, you don't want to tie your actions so tightly that you can't do start player 6 wood, that you can't take a great resource pile when it becomes available. Like, you want to be leaving yourself flexible, and the way that you do that is you do family growth as much as you can, as early as you can, and you try to get your feeding reasonably even. Um, yeah, that's the big thing I've noticed is that I think people just undervalue reason. They get this idea of combos in their head and cards, and they over focus on playing the cards and undervalue doing good actions. Is that's kind of the way I would describe that. I hope that makes sense. That's just what I've observed, though. Personally, I mean, it's difficult to say for sure. So round 13, I'm gonna start player heavy plow. Before then, I want to fence. Maybe take a cattle this round. So that heavy plow gives me a field. Um, the other thing about Boîte de Jeu is not all the cards are implemented, which is kind of annoying. Which, I mean, base set cards are just not always worth the opportunity cost. Exactly, Dutch Mojo. That's exactly right. You have a lot of cards that at at best will be even. So cards like all the cards that give you something when someone else takes traveling players, they take so long to pay off that it's just usually not worth playing. Same with a card like any of the two wood miners. There are a ton of two wood miners in EIK that are just not worth playing because that's two less wood to fence, and you would rather fence bigger for an extra 2 points or 1 point. And sometimes it's more complex than that. If you fence earlier, you can get more animals, which is more points. If you fence bigger, you can hold more animals, which is more points. You breed more. um, there are a lot of cards that it's like, yeah, that it's just sometimes it's just not worth playing. It's better to not do something than do something. And that's where drafting is a very key component, in that you don't draft the cards that are very likely to not be worth playing, and you focus on playing the cards that are worth playing. If that hopefully that makes sense. Do I want to plow so? I guess I could plow so again next round. I don't need to start player. Heavy plow. Hmm. Yeah, because I could do so bake. I could just plow and do so bake in round 14. But you know what? I have two more bakes, which is enough for my cookies. So yeah, I don't need to bake anymore. So I have some options here. Oh, he's grabbing a ton of reed. So I'll fence. I need to get my fencing done. Yeah, I don't actually need to build a cooking hearth or fireplace to use cabbage lever. I can just convert vegetable at 1 to 1. And what cabbage lever lets me do is it lets me turn my excess vegetables into points. Normally, you have a point cap of 4 vegetables, and any more vegetables are not worth any points directly. But what cabbage lever lets you do is it says, as long as you have enough clay, any vegetables above and beyond 4 can be worth points as well. So I'm just going to set myself up to have as many vegetables as I can at the end of the game. Um, yeah, last playing Contract Builder this late is interesting. Um, yeah, so like look at these farms, right? Last doesn't have enough wood to build to fence, right? Like she's gonna do Contract Builder plus Fence Overseer, I guess. But I mean, I don't think it's. She has food, yeah. She's got joinery. She's got cooking hearth. She's got boar, but I don't know. Sometimes, and then sometimes too, you just don't quite get everything you plan to in your game. That absolutely just happens, and it's just a thing that is part of the game. I'm gonna take another cattle here. That guarantees my heavy plow is worth playing. Um, yeah, last can build stable for free. Yeah, you're right. Contract builder to build a stable. Yeah. But like it might have been just as good to be taking wood all this time and then to build all your rooms at once, or to build all your fences at once. Like fence dealer, fence overseer, where you get to fence a stable that you build. That card is good when you're going to go on the build room spaces a lot of time anyways, or you have a ton of actions. So it's okay if you use actions just for low value returns. But last hasn't had a lot of actions, didn't grow, hasn't grown that quickly, and hasn't had a lot of reason to go on the build room space. So yeah. I guess I can plow, and I don't need to play heavy plow. Yeah, it's still an option for me. I could have fenced tighter. I could have fenced tighter, and because more sowing is good for me. Um, yeah, like if I take field here, then I can just do plow sow again next round, and why not? And then I can use my wood for stables. Okay, that'll work. Great plays apiary. Nice. Apiary is a nice card. It's coming a little late. Considering how early he got all these fences out, it's coming super late, but that just happens sometimes. So PJ is going to double grow, and then I will plow sow. So yeah, how many times did I activate my Pioneer? Was it 4 times? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 9 grain. I'm gonna bake twice more. Um, so sowing gets me 2 more, which is a point, or I could sow the vegetable. I think it doesn't matter. It's 1 point either way, so sure, we'll sow the vegetable. Um, what was I talking about? I don't remember. Dr. Tisk, I have newer version decks. Is it possible to get EIK or WM France deck in the UK? Unfortunately, since those decks are out of print, they're usually like it's kind of a premium to get them. I was very fortunate. I bought the WM deck and the France deck. Well, it's like 3 years ago now. They went on sale for a retailer in Canada in BC. I bought them. Um, Probably what is going to be cheaper is like you can't usually get the EIK decks on their own. Your best bet is to just buy an old copy of the game. Like if you have the 2016 edition of Agricola, you want to probably in order to get the EIK decks, probably someone's not selling just EIK. You're probably going to need to buy like the whole old edition. Um, but then I don't know. At this point, if you're gonna get them, it's through resale options, and your resale options are like online um, people selling used copies, for example, on Board Game Geek or Amazon, etc., etc. So I will bake a grain at this next harvest, pay a food 2 cookies, end with 9 food, and after getting a food from artichoke field, end with 9 food, and then go into the final harvest. Again, bake one, use that 6 food plus vegetables, raw vegetables with clay. A clay 3 stone for pottery. It's definitely an option. definitely an option. Um, Makes my Stone Curator more worth playing. I don't really have a lot left to do, so probably it's what I'm going to end up doing. Unless I think that PJ is going to go for it. Oh, PJ's out of actions. Yeah, that's the problem with Giant, is he can't can't do it. Choose for that. See, yeah. So yeah, Amazon, eBay, Board Game Geek has a resale market. Yeah. Dutch Mojo says I'm tempted to print them myself. Really want the WM deck. Yeah. Oh, man, I want them to bring. It'd be great if they could bring them back into circulation. The problem is all the licensing issues. Those decks are not going to come back. Um, Unfortunately, just not going to happen. Um, I wish. I wish they would. Um, what was I thinking of? Yeah, and I mean it's just the. I've been kind of frustrated by the. I guess, like I said, I only know the people that play online. I only know the really hardcore people. Um, it seems like the publishers and game designers at Lookout have a totally different attitude about what Agricola is and how it is played and who likes to play it. Um, I mean, if it came out as the 2016 edition, if that's what had come out in 2018, I don't think there would be an online community like this. Part of the reason that people get sucked in is because there was so much value in that box. All the different number of players that you could play with, all the different cards, family version, everything. Like there's just so much there. And now I think they're trying to capitalize on that. They're trying to capitalize on its big name and the fact that it's rated on the top of Board Game Geek and saying, "Hey, let's monetize this. Let's take advantage of it. It's okay if we don't give as much value because we'll get people buying it anyways because they already like it." Um, yeah, I would like to have explored the self-publishing option more, and it still can be done. Um, with Chris Reedstone Food. Because I'm going to run out of point actions here. I'm going to have one sheep available to me. I'm going to have other than that 1 point actions. So if it's 2 actions to build pottery, it gives me 3 points at least. Has the potential to give me 5 actions for 3 moves. So it's better. It's worth going for the pottery at this point. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I would love to get a physical version of G4, G5 out there. Hard to do it. There's like legal boundaries and stuff. Um, would be nice to crowdfund something like that. What we could do is similar to France Deck. What I think I would do is I would do a we try to do a tournament. We've already had a G4, G5 tournament though. I think we have. We must have. Yeah, because everybody started playing it. Um, I don't know. We could do something like that. Like print some of the G6 deck. Problem is, it's just like a lot of work, and the people who are going to put the work in don't really have a way of monetizing. Honestly, I only really play online, so for me, getting a physical copy is not there's not that much value there. Um, I'm happy waiting until the deluxe edition comes out, even though it's going to be like $200. I'm, oh, I don't know that, but I bet it'll be at least $100. Um, would be nice just to have proper art for the G cards. Yeah. Oh, G deck. But yeah, I mean that's still I'm still looking forward to that anniversary edition. It might be the only way to get G4, G5 in print. Um, Still optimistic that G6 will get incorporated into like the A and B decks at some point. That we still might have stuff going on there. When will the deluxe anniversary edition? Actually, it just got posted recently. I was checking out Board Game Geek. They said maybe Christmas 2019. In all likelihood, not until 2020. It seems like the issue is they have one guy doing all the art, and it's just taken forever for him to do all the art. Um, yeah. The other thing is I can definitely see them wanting to spread out. Like what they really didn't want people to do is hold off on buying the 2016 version, hoping to get the deluxe version instead. They really didn't want that to happen. So I can understand if at this point their attitude is, let's just wait for to create some space there. Hopefully more people buy the 2016 edition and then they say, hey, you want to get 1,000 cards in one box. Here you go. That's what I hope it's like. I hope it's gonna have like 1,000 cards. It's got all G4, G5, France, G deck, WM, some of the best A and B cards. Maybe a new U deck that we haven't seen yet. Although I haven't really been that impressed with the U decks. G6, who knows? Who knows? Yeah, this game's slowed down quite a bit. Gray built another room. Yeah. He needs what's that card? He needs that card that lets you reno to clay when you have a certain number of plowed fields or planted fields. Something like that. All right, first action. Not a whole lot for me to do. Sheep is 2 points. Family growth is 3 points. I'm going to do the 3 point family growth move. Actually, you know what? Lass is the only other person that can family growth at this point. So no, I'm not going to do that. I'll do 2 sheep. It's fine. So yeah, thanks. We got a couple people in chat. Thanks for coming and checking out the channel. I post all my games onto YouTube. I've been doing that back to like 2014. So youtube.com, we're Play-agricola on there. Similar to the title here, except instead of Play_agricola, it's Play-agricola. I don't think Twitch let me do Play-agricola. I think that was the issue. Would be nice to have them in the same format in both, but what can you do? Um, So yeah, getting towards the end of this game, I'm going to be playing Stone Curator, I'm going to Family Growth, and then probably my last action will be a 1 point move or a 1 point food action. One of those two things. Oh, Brickyard, that's right. I forgot he had Brickyard. And Renovator. Oh, nice planning. Good job. Good job, Gray. And he actually fills up his farm. Oh, very nice. I did not think he was going to be able to make that work. Good job. Does he have something that lets him replace Reed? I Did he have a Reed? I don't recall that, but maybe he did. Yeah, he says removed one Reed. So he just has to take Reed before he can reno again, and he's not going to be allowed to reno again because Lass is going to reno. And unfortunately, PJ is going to get locked out of renovating. I guess I have clay with my pottery. Clay is probably a 2 point move. Maybe 2 points and some food, depending on how I do it. So I have 8 food, 8 grain right now, so I can bake one and eat one raw. And then my vegetables, I can eat 2 vegetables raw. So that's 8 more food. And I can, then I need food for my stone curator. So I can start marking my points. Driftwood is 1. Artichoke is 1. Yeah, I was talking about that Reddit thread my friend sent me, where people were talking about high level commentary. I guess there's a guy that's like full time on Twitch that plays Agricola every Monday. Um, I don't even remember his name, but I did not know there were other people that played. I knew there were other people that I know there are other people that play Agricola online. I know there are people that stream board games. I didn't know that anyone played Agricola specifically. Um, and he plays with a couple of the guys from the Meeple League. It seems like so. Have to maybe give that a maybe see if we can do some collaboration or something. Although it's difficult because if they only play on boîte de jeu, I don't like playing live games on boîte de jeu. It's too slow. Um, Part of it's the player level is not as high, and also just the expectation of how long it's going to take just takes longer. It's harder to follow as well. Like it's harder to follow what's happening on everyone else's farms. Um, yeah. Stone Curator for 3 points. 2 from the 4 stone rooms plus 1 from having clay oven and pottery. It does get a lot faster if you have premium. So premium is where you get the email updates as soon as they come in, right? As soon as you get an action. Yeah. Yeah, it would I can definitely see that it would be way faster in that case. And honestly, like I waste so much of my time just pulling out my phone and checking what de jeu, and there's never like there you check like 7 times a day and you maybe get one action or something, which is kind of a pain. Like how many times have I checked during this game? Like 3 or 4 already. Yeah. That's why I think the live play is superior. You get auto refresh. Oh, interesting. Something to look into then. Yeah, I think that's been the difference, and people have a bit of a difference of opinion. So, like in the base game, Dutch Mojo made the great comment about there are a lot of games that are just not worth cards that are just not worth the opportunity cost, and you are absolutely right about that. And so then the attitude of the Play Agricola community has been, okay, let's make cards generally worth the opportunity cost always, because otherwise you just wouldn't play them ever, right? Um, so then there are some people who are used to playing with the base game. They're like, wow, these point totals are so high, you know. Um, why would I like you're just, you know, what was the comment? You're jerking each other off with your high scores or something like that on Board Game Geek. That just made me laugh. Um, it was just like you just like playing cards that are worth playing. Like there are a lot of cards that are not worth playing um, in the base game. Bliksha says Play Agricola looks really overwhelming for people who don't know the game that well. Absolutely. This, yes, you're absolutely right. This game, this interface is not designed for people who have only played one game in real life and are looking to play more. It does not hold your hand with the mechanics at all, um, which is an obvious disadvantage. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cookies, one more, and then I will eat one clay and two vegetables. Yeah, this interface absolutely because you have to do it all yourself, right? You have to already be very familiar with the mechanics of the game, um, which a lot of people are not, which is totally fine. It's more for you've played, you're very familiar with the. Oh my God, I got 61. That's pretty good. 50, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. 61 here. GG. There are tutorials. Yeah, check them out on the YouTube channel. They're also on the Play Agricola main site. So Boîte de jeu, absolutely, yeah. Boîte de jeu is nice because it does all that stuff for you, which is great. Um, Now, Play Agricola is much more similar to the actual act of playing in real life, in that you have to physically take materials, you have to manually do rules adjustments, adjust costs, etc., etc., etc. So for the people who maybe would like to play in real life but don't have the opportunity to, or are not in the same city or whatever, you have the option to play online, which is nice, and it's why I like playing on Play Agricola. For sure, Boîte de jeu is better for new players, absolutely. I guess what I would like to see maybe is something where we draw players who learn the rules on Boîte de jeu, get them over to Play Agricola. The problem is, once you're used to everything being done for you, it's really difficult to get out of that. Um, really difficult to get out of that. Um, yeah. So the thing that I don't like about Boîte de jeu, even now, like 10 years after release, Boîte de jeu doesn't have all the cards from EIK implemented. So there's some occupations that you just can't use, and even some of them are not implemented correctly. Like there are bugs and stuff. So yeah, like you can never make a new deck on Boîte de jeu. You could never play test a new deck on Boîte de jeu because it would just be too time consuming. And every time you made a slight rule change, you'd have to change something physically in the engine, which is where I really like Play Agricola, is the fact that we've been able to play test all these new cards, which is very fun. So I have 61, 33, 34. So whatever Gray has, 47. GG. Yeah, so I think I commented that they can't implement more. They can, it just takes time. The fact that you have to manually implement every card on boîte de jeu, it takes time. It takes development resources, which it seems their attitude is we'd rather put that into developing new games rather than adding cards to old games, which I think is unfortunate. But I mean, maybe, that's their choice, right? Um, yeah, so this game, I mean, like I said, I was pretty sure early on I was going to win it, just because the my card value is too high, my value per actions is really high. Gray, like I said, I said Gray had good value per actions as well. He just didn't have enough of them, did not have enough actions to make it worth it, to catch up to me. Um, About that last stable, thinking Gray wasn't able to run out of stone, a big mistake, one of many. Yeah, so that happens. Thanks for the game. Thanks, Dr. Tish. Thanks for checking out. Thanks for playing. Thanks for checking it out. I am all done, so I'm just going to play the one game today. Um, I'm done for today. Thank you very much for watching, you guys. Hope you have enjoyed watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. And, catch me next time. Give me a follow on Twitch and YouTube. And, yeah, that's all for today. Thanks. Bye.